Hi, welcome to the Get Ready with God podcast. My name is Julie Taylor and I am your host, and I am not God. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm not even a scriptorian. I'm literally just a girl sitting in front of a microphone. And I'm hoping that God is real. The Get Ready with God podcast is the daily devotional podcast to help you see divinity in every day. And I hope you've seen it. How are you seeing it? Where are you seeing it? Tell me. Tell me I'm desperate. I'm sad today. I posted a video of myself crying on Instagram, which is kind of against my morals. But sometimes I just do things. So I am sad today. Trying to rally. But that's actually exactly what I want to talk about today is the importance of carrying on. I was at Chili's with a friend, with our ghost co-host, Lisa Valentine Clark, the one and only. One of the reasons I like Chili's, it doesn't have to be Chili's, but I do think there is something to be said about returning to the same space over and over and over again. And so if you meet your friend at the same restaurant all the time, you can kind of remember the conversations you've had in that booth over and over and over again. I remembered this weekend a conversation I had with Lisa. I met her at Chili's over 2 years ago now, and I told her I was pregnant with Simon. And it was in a booth at Chili's that I told her I was pregnant. And she grabbed my hands and she started crying and she said, "I'm so excited for you. This is what matters most." And I'll never forget that reaction because when you're having your fifth baby, people aren't always positive or excited for you when you tell them that you're pregnant. And I really needed her excitement, and I wish I could expound more on that. You'll have to read the book. It's in the book. And I've decided that I don't want to tell that part of Simon's story until the book comes out. I never wanted to tell that part of the story, but I felt strongly I needed to put it in the book. So I am sharing it in the book. And this is not meant to be clickbaity. It's a very sacred thing. And I'm preparing to be ready to talk about it by April when the book comes out. But I'm not ready now. One day we'll listen to this episode and I'll be able to tell you the real reason why I needed a reaction like Lisa's at Chili's that day. There was another one later in my pregnancy when I was talking to her about my working situation and she was like, "Well, are you going to go back to work?" And I said, "Yes, I'm planning to go back to work." But I told her, it's so weird. I can't see past having this baby. I can't see what's next. And so she kind of was just like, "Okay, well then let's just have the baby." And then that baby died, as we know. Spoiler alert, tragedy struck. I think I know now why I couldn't see past. I did actually end up going back to that job for a while though. But I couldn't see past it. And so we just were like, "Well, this is what you're doing right now. You're having this baby right now. So let's just do that." Anyways, fast forward again to this past weekend is in a booth at Chili's. Another friend named Lisa, she was in town and I had dinner with her last week and she was like, "I listen to your podcast every day," which is so nice, by the way. Anyone who listens to the podcast every day, like, so kind. But she was like, "I've sensed a theme lately that your life is not sustainable. And you often mention how your life is not sustainable." And we were kind of like troubleshooting my life. Like, okay, right now it doesn't feel sustainable. And I said to her, like, "Well, I just feel like I need to launch the book in April and then everything will slow down because it's been a long buildup for this book launch. And so I'm trying to do all of the things to prepare for this book launch." And so we were kind of troubleshooting, like, "Well, could you let go of this or couldn't?" And I was like, "Well, I just feel like I have to get through April and then things will slow down," which LOL, we all know that that's how we live our lives. If I just get through this, then things will slow down. They never slow down. But I told her I was kind of at a place where I was like, I really don't know what's next for me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what my career holds. I don't know what my podcast holds. I don't know what the book holds. I don't know what anything. Like, I don't know what's next. And sometimes I think we have a vision and we know what we want and we know what to go for. And other times I've experienced just kind of like a block. Like, I don't know where any of this is leading. And that is so uncomfortable. And it's so much more fun when at least you can trick yourself into thinking that you know what's going to happen next. But I'm not even in a place right now. And I think I've learned the lesson so many times that I just am like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't have the path laid out in front of me. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing right now and hope that it leads to the next thing. But here's the thing. One thing always leads to the next thing. And I know we've talked about this before, but you don't have to see the whole path. You just have to trust that one thing is always leading to the next thing and you just have to keep going. And that has become a theme for me where through grief, especially, I've learned the importance. I'm very sad today, so I'm very emotional, so I'm sorry. But I've learned the importance of continuing on. We think it matters so much what we do, but I think what matters even more is that we keep doing, that we keep going. And we can fixate on what's the next step and what's the right thing and what should I be doing and is this right or wrong and am I in the right place and am I doing the right thing? And I think all of that is whatever, and sometimes it matters, but what I think matters the very most is that we keep trying. I need you to keep trying. This is so dramatic. You're probably like in a Starbucks line right now while I'm like sobbing in your ear. Like, calm down. But I just have learned over and over again that that's what matters. And if we can find willingness to keep trying, we will figure it out and we will be led to the next thing. And I know that sometimes, especially in grief, it feels like when people will say to me, I don't know how you X, Y, or Z. I don't know how you keep going. I don't know how you, it kind of feels like, well, because there's no other option, Denise. There's no other option. I just have to keep doing this because the world keeps spinning and life keeps going on. But I've actually learned that there is another option. You can quit. In a million ways, you can quit and give up and stop trying. I beg you to join me in not giving into that because I promise it's not better. It feels easier. It feels tempting, but I don't think that it's better. And I've applied the same thing to faith, where the only way that I've been able to plow through and to keep trying to figure out if God is real and how to have a relationship and what to choose is to not worry so much about where it's all leading and what's all going to be next and what it all means, and just focus on today, right now. Seeking a relationship with divinity helps me. And I don't have to have all the answers and I don't have to figure it all out and I don't have to answer for everyone. I just, right now, today, I'm going to keep choosing this. And right now, today, I'm going to keep trying in whatever way that looks like. If that looks like going on daily walks and looking at the sky, I guess I'll try that. I mean, my favorite advice I've ever been given is from my neighbor, Julie. I'm name dropping a lot of people in this episode. Julie Magleby. She lives 2 doors down. She knows grief very well. And she's the one who told me nothing helps until something does. So just keep trying things. And that advice changed everything for me because I just kept trying things. And eating a donut a day and making candy salad and going on walks to see the sky. And this is what has helped. Watching Cats every day for 6 months. Cats. The crazy CGI movie Cats. I had never watched it before Simon died. I watched the movie every day for 4 to 6 months. And it helped. Okay. So let's keep an open mind, but we have to keep trying, and continuing to try requires a willingness to not know what's next and to not control what's next and to keep doing it anyways, and to trust God, trust yourself, and give the gift of your willingness to keep trying. And I think if we stay willing, God will make us capable. Anyways, this was very dramatic, a lot of emotion, all to say a very simple thing of don't quit. Keep trying. It's okay to not know what's next. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to not know anything, actually. Just keep trying. And the next thing will come. And relief will come. And tomorrow might feel better than today. And the only way that you can get there is to keep trying. I love you a lot. Don't stop. Don't quit. Love you so much. Bye.